PR Connections Radio presents
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Cozy Up and Pay Attention Season 2. If you're looking at my face right now, it's probably 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we are going to have another gratifying show for you. But before I introduce my next guest, I would like you, please, to take a deep breath, let it out, and we'll be right back.
Cozy Stone is a multi-talented comedian extraordinaire who has a real lust for life. She also combines humor and motivation, where she is known as a humorvational speaker. Her youthful ways and positive light make her a beacon for those of all ages. Cozy has lived a remarkable life that has paved the way for so many. She had the longest running open mic venue of 11 years at Tommy Rockers in Vegas, called Cozy's Comedy Corner, through which she introduced many up-and-coming comedians. Before going into comedy, she was one of the first female personal trainers and one of the top fitness trainers in the world. She has trained many greats such as Billie Jean King, Roberta Flack, Andrew Young, Ed Bradley, CCH Pounder, Al Pacino, and Earl Monroe. As a former competitive bodybuilder, she also owned a bodybuilding gym for women over 40 in Los Angeles for several years. She has worked in top positions for HBO, Playboy, and Tony Robbins. She also enjoys volunteer work, dedicating time to the New York Foundling Hospital and babies with AIDS. Cozy Stone has a message that shouldn't be missed.
Good afternoon. Before I bring my next guest on, this is going to be a little different from what we've been doing, and I have been dying to do this type of show. This show is a non-parent show. Yes, I have a guest on today who chose not to be a parent, and I think I'm one of them, are just as important, and our story should be heard and shared as well as the parents. So if you would please welcome my first non-parent and friend today, Dawn Houlf. Good afternoon, Dawn. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how are you, Miss Cozy?
I'm doing well. You changed your hair and it looks pretty.
I wanted it off my neck.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not the face that was just on your makeup. It's okay. So before I start, Dawn, I usually say about there's no such thing as a perfect parent, and we know that. There aren't any books that tells a parent how to raise any particular child, and more importantly, that this show has nothing to do with parent shaming. But today, this show has everything to do with a responsible adult, or however old she was when she decided being a parent just wasn't for her. And I think we, again, should be celebrated, applauded, and promoted, as well as those who wanted to make that choice. So, Dawn, what I'd like to do is to get into your background, just as to give us a little bit about you and your parents. Where and what year did your parents meet?
Hmm. My parents met in high school and got married and had me and then my sister.
And how old were your parents?
Oh, actually, my parents were pregnant with me before they even graduated high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And you were born where?
In California, Northern California.
Okay. How old, if you can remember, were you when you realized that being a parent wasn't for you?
Oh, young. I was still 15, 16 years old. I did not want to have children.
Okay. And can you tell us what were two of the factors that at that time went through your head?
At that time, I didn't want the responsibility of raising another human being, obviously.
Mhm.
And the money and the time that it took to raise good children.
Okay. Were you ever either engaged or married?
I was married at one time.
And And if you don't mind, tell us, how did that conversation go? And let me stop before you answer. Two things that sometimes aren't discussed when people get married, and it boggles my mind, but it's true: having children and finances.
Right.
One or the other may not, and lo and behold, they said I do, and somebody doesn't.
Right.
So, being that you've been married, was that a conversation that happened before or during your marriage?
It was before our marriage. We both didn't want children.
Uh,
That's
really?
actually a prerequisite. If you don't want children, you're good for me.
And how old were you when you got married?
Oh, I got married late in life. I was like 34, 35.
Okay, well, that's even better, even better.
Yeah.
And then between those teenage years through your 20s, you'd meet men, of course.
Mhm.
Had anyone proposed to you prior to that and wanted children?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. When you told usually your mom, or your best friends, but
Right.
your mom, that this was your decision, do you remember the conversation at all? What was her response to that? Because moms want to be grandmothers.
Yeah. Well, my mom is a grandmother by my sister,
Right.
obviously.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
it wasn't really a conversation that I had with my mom or even my parents. It was just right. My mom always said I should have been an only child because I want all the attention. Being a Sagittarius and all.
Wait a minute. Wait. So let me ask you this: did you, even though you didn't want to be a parent, did you look forward to being an aunt?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And
I spoil my nieces and nephews to pieces.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to get into your questions. That's okay.
Oh no.
The first question you chose was, in your opinion, I'm asking you, what makes a good parent?
Somebody that makes time for their children. And time, what I mean by time is, having breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them, or at least a sit down meal, to be able to discuss their day, their schoolwork, what's current activities going on in the world, be able to put them in extracurricular activities, whether that be ballet, soccer, sports, anything that the child would be interested in, and being able to broaden the horizons of that child.
Your next question is, remember you chose these questions.
I don't remember any of this, by the way.
I'm glad. I'm glad you don't remember. Do you think, and of course this is your life, do you think you're happier without children? That's a good question.
Yeah. It's different. It's not that I'm happier. It's just different because people that have children obviously have other things going on in their children's lives, right? They babysit, they do whatever they want to do if they're getting older. Now, myself getting older, I'm thinking, wow, I don't have anybody to support me or help me in my senior years and golden years, right? If I need help or assistance or any of that stuff. However, on the other end, there's no guarantee that that child is going to help their parents either, right? So it's like a double-edged sword, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you probably have as many friends as I do today. Yeah, those kids would not be there for you. So here's what I suggest: build your friendships. Keep your friendships strong. Keep them close. Care about your friends. And my experience is it does come back. I didn't ask this or put this on my sheet.
Or make a lot of money so you can pay somebody.
I don't know. Have you read about those people? Let's stay on one thing.
Yes,
Here's the question I
it's
didn't
terrible.
put on my sheet. Huh?
What did you say?
I was saying
I said, yeah.
This
Sorry.
is a question that I did not put down and it just came to the top of my mind. When you were a teenager, did you babysit for anyone's children?
Yes. One.
One?
Just one child. Well, two children, but not very often.
Okay. All right. Because
Yeah.
that's people who babysat as teenagers, they got a good glimpse of what it was like as well. Let's see. So your next
Yes.
question is, what are your thoughts? What is that noise?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it now. Must have been Dana.
Oh,
You hear
Dana
it?
in the background.
Yeah, sounds
No,
like
I
a
don't
whole
hear
noise.
anything.
I've got great ears. Well, let's keep moving here. The next question is, what are your thoughts on societal stress and norms regarding parenthood?
Oh gosh, I would think the common it would be finances, right? The economy, what's going on in today's world. Number one. Number two, just if you're a parent, whether you're a single parent or not, you have the stresses of just being able to make ends meet, being able to do things for your child that you really wanted to do when you're backed up to a corner. And just just everyday life stresses, just everyday life. Schools, our school district in Nevada, right? Or at least in Las Vegas, or overcrowded. It's those type of things that I feel that a parent is concerned about with their children, in my opinion.
Do you have, other than your nieces and nephews, do you have children, friends that have children, have a lot of children? I don't. I don't know how it happens. God gave me a lot of friends when I was 20 to 40, didn't have kids, and we just acted like the kids that we were. Were you
Right.
around a lot of children when you decided you didn't want children?
I had a few friends growing up in my 20s that had children, and I was around those kids, and I saw what they went through as a parent, raising them, and the stresses that they go to in the adolescence that the child is going through. And I'm thinking, I don't want to go that. I'm too greedy with my time and energy that I didn't want to do that. So I made a conscious decision not to do that.
Okay. Your next question is, what replaces parenthood in your life? I know one answer, but give it to me. What replaces parenthood?
My baby puppies, my puppies. Those are my children. I make their own food. We walk and go on hikes. We do all that stuff. I feel guilty when I don't take them for a walk.
Well, you should.
Yeah, exactly.
You should.
Yeah.
They get that. They get into a habit. They need the exercise. So,
Exactly.
do you not right now in your life work around, volunteer, read to, do any kind of activities with children other than your nephew and nieces?
Yes, I was a big brother and big sister. I was a big sister in the Big Brother and Big Sister organization for over a decade. So I had 3 little sisters at the time. So I did that. I'm also involved in Project 150, which is a nonprofit here in Las Vegas that caters to the homeless teenagers here in Vegas. So I do a lot of work and donate money and time to that organization as well.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We still have to be a part of the village.
Absolutely.
Right? We get to come home, lock our doors and our refrigerators. But the other part of it is we still have to be responsible for our children. And so I'm glad to hear that. And then your last question is, what advice would you give to young people about parenthood? That's loaded.
It's a loaded question. I would have them seriously think about what parenthood would mean in their life and how their life would change if they chose to be a parent and what they're willing to give up and sacrifice. Because being a parent, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your time. You have to sacrifice your money. You have to sacrifice everything for that child, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, it's your show. It's your show, by the way. So it's only your opinion that matters today.
That's right.
Really, some people get on here and they'll say, in my opinion, I'll say everyone else's doesn't matter. This is your show. I'm asking you a question. So here's a question, and see again, because this is the first show, you're making my brain go in other directions. If you were, let's do a hypothetical, and let's not use your age. So let's say if you were 25, 26 years old today, with the world being as it is today, what would you most stress to your child for them to become the responsible adult that you'd like to create?
Oh, let's see. Another loaded question.
Now they have to be loaded. You need answers.
I know. The economy is obviously, being in the real estate industry, some people think the economy is great and some people think the economy is bad, right? It's all about perception. So, and the glass is half full or half empty. I just would prepare my child to be honest, have ethics, and have a personality. You don't need a degree to get any advancement. There's so many entrepreneurs out there that have made it in the world without a degree. A high school diploma would be just fine. There's talented individuals all over the place. Just know what your talent and gifts are and go for it and make it whatever you want it to be, in my opinion.
Stop saying that.
I know. It's fact. It's not my opinion. It's real stuff.
No. Stop saying that. This is your opinion.
I know.
Nobody's going to be able to come in here and say, I don't agree. No. I want to hear.
And also have a relationship with our Father in heaven. That's number one, because he will protect you and he will guide you and he will get you to where you need to be.
Okay. All right. So I've got more time than I've ever had. So hold on a second. I know. And like I said, this is the first show. So what it's going to do is just make me add more questions on here. So I'm going to put a parent question to you. And this is just personal, has a little bit to do with, give us an unexpected joy from not having kids.
Sleeping in, not having to make dinner, breakfast, lunch, doing whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it.
That's those, and these are you. If I ask you some of these questions, I'm going to get the answers that, for some reason, you on this opinion of yours, you're trying to hold back. I don't want you to hold back.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I said, why can't men like us who've made that conscious decision? We are of sound mind and body, and I don't care who's met me and might have disagreed with that. I am very much I'm very much a sound mind and body. I know what I was thinking. I know why. I know how I got to this conclusion. And it needs to be, as I said at the beginning of the show, promoted, celebrated, and marketed that it's not for everybody. And I gear the show towards everyone, but I know in my heart I'm gearing this show more towards young people, young boys, young girls, who are continually having unprotected sex, and I say this in the show, and I think I want to say this every week, you can almost take it to the bank. Unprotected sex, 99.5% of the time, is going to result in a pregnancy unless you just have something else, something wrong with your health. Make a decision to enjoy. I do not want to promote abstinence. I'm not going to. I promote, that's right. I like sex too much to say don't have it. I want everyone to have a whole lot of sex and be careful. How's
But
that?
be safe at it.
Yeah, be safe and be careful. Exactly. It's the hormones are going to run. They're not going to stop. Teenagers don't know what to do with them. Grown-ups don't know what to do with them. 16 years olds aren't the only ones having unplanned pregnancies. You've got 25 and 28-year-olds or 32-year-olds who are having unplanned pregnancy. Let's put that on the board so no one thinks that I'm picking on or just concentrating on teenagers. Young ladies, you're not the only ones. We all have the same chemistry. We all have the same biological factors. We can make babies. If you're able and you don't want them, please take the time to consider all of what you're giving up, which is why I want to start having more non-parents on the show. So what I am going to do, I'm going to give you two fun questions. How's that? To get us to our minutes.
Good.
Oh, good. That's right. Let's do a fun question.
That's some funny stuff.
Let's do. That's what we do when we don't have kids. We're just silly all the time. So your first fun question is, and I hope you now, if you didn't pick this question, let me know, and I'll tell you why. I sent out a list of questions and then I changed them.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. But you sent those to me months ago. So do you think I'm going to remember? I don't remember what I chose.
Oh, well, even better. Then I'm going to give you one. You see, you make this easy for me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, just because it's you, I want to ask you this one. I want you to pick one. Would you rather be a world-class attractive, a genius, or famous for doing something great? Want me to say those again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Say them again.
Here we go. World-class attractive, a genius, or famous for doing something great? I know what I'm doing here.
Genius, or
famous for doing something great.
Well, I think I would be famous for doing something great. Because then
Stop. No
That's
way.
not the reasoning in my head.
No.
Fine.
No.
I got it in bullet points. Fine. Okay. You said this is my show. I get to play.
These are my questions.
Okay, fine.
All right, so come on.
What else? What was your other question?
You didn't answer it.
I did. You said I said famous. I answered it.
No, you didn't. No, what you did was try to put two answers together, and I'm not buying that. I need you to commit.
So
I knew what I was doing when I asked you that question. I knew it would drive you nuts trying to be all three. I know my guess. So here's
number three. Number three.
All right, I'm gonna let you off the hook a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, here's a great question for you. This is gonna let you breathe a little better. If you could ask your dogs 3 questions, what would they be?
My dogs. Do you love living with me?
Needy.
One question. I know. See, it's all about me. I told you. 3 questions. What else do you want to do for fun besides walking and running? And the third one, what are you thinking?
Okay. Those are quick.
There you go.
All right, let me find you one more because I still got 4 minutes. I got one more. Let me find you an easy one. Oh well. Okay. How would your friends describe you?
Impatient.
That's it.
That's number 1. Loving, fun, and would go to the ends of the earth to protect them.
Such a Sagittarian trait. I said you keep those people around, they'll wipe your butt when you need them to. I've already got my butt wiped. I've already got my butt. I got sick last year. That's true. And I actually had, I had a Sagittarian, and I needed help. And she called me, and that's what she said. I will blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh my God, I've got to push you up on the list. I had to give her a new rating on my friendship list. She did not hesitate. She did not hesitate. And we've known each other, it is almost 24 years. I couldn't stand her when I first met her. And she has grown on me like moss.
That's awesome. It's great to have it's great to have friends like that.
Yeah, because I'll hire somebody to wipe your butt, but I'll feed you. I can't do that.
Maybe that's a trivia Facebook question. You know, when I grow old, what I'm taking applications for X, Y, and Z. Who's applying? Right?
Pay attention.
Especially when you don't have children.
And as you said earlier, I am finding myself around a lot of parents right now with ungrateful, unappreciative, and uncaring children. And it breaks my heart. It does. It breaks my heart to know that these people gave whatever the best they can. And here's what I just said to one yesterday. If nothing else, with children, and these are grown children with children, just be grateful that they have breath in their lungs. And they are so, whatever the word is, angry or what have you, that they're so disrespectful to these ladies. And these are great ladies, not because they didn't raise me, because they are caring, loving. So having children, people, as we're listening, it is part of all of our show. There's no guarantees about anything in life, right?
Right.
There are no guarantees. And one of the things that I don't like to say often, but I do want to say every so often, even when you have kids, there's no guarantee you're going to have a healthy child. Right?
That's true.
And then that comes with a whole lot of other concerns. So what I like to say is, okay, so we've had our first non-parent who made up her mind when she was a teenager. She was born from teenagers. Sometimes that matters. It goes both ways. It can go either way. Come from, your parents were together, so you come from a 2-parent home and just knew at an early age, and as you continue to mature, you didn't change your mind. And as I say that, I've met women who said to me, I never wanted kids, and they've got kids. And I look at them and I say, you lie. Oh, I never wanted kids. I said, but you got kids. We never wanted kids. It is a big deal. It is something to consider one way or the other. There are sacrifices that you can make. And then if you want to say to yourself, well, I have regret. I just turned 70 years old. And I tell you, I have no regrets. You see the smile? I knew I would. I knew I would never have regrets. It would not have made me happy. Oh, I knew it would not make me happy. So that was why I asked you the question. So folks, I hope you again another week has given you something to think about again in the opposite direction. We will have more parents on. I don't have any men yet. If there's any men or any of you have brothers or uncles out there who you know consciously decided, I just don't want to have kids, please ask them to send me their request at cozy up and pay attention at gmail.com. We are on here, if God allows, every Tuesday from 2 o'clock to 2:30, except next week is going to be 1:30 because she has to go to the dentist. Yeah, I told her husband's out there. She's got to go get a tooth pulled. So I will publish that post it on Facebook and the other social medias. And what I like to end this show with every week is saying, folks, sometimes when we know better, we do better. Don Houlf, let's get together face to face before another 11 years goes by. It was more than
Exactly.
fun, and you're as pretty today as you ever have.
Oh, thank you. And you're absolutely stunning, inside and out.
Thank you, Dawn. Have a good afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye.
So you can leave the studio.